Hello, I am Jamie Buckland with the West Virginia Few Families United for Education, and I wanted to come on today and talk a little bit about our latest service offering that has been approved with West Virginia State's Hope Scholarship program, and that is testing. So, when you're participating in the Hope Scholarship program under the individualized instructional program, then in order to satisfy the compliance piece at the end of the year, you are required to assess your student. And you can do that in a couple of different ways. You can do a portfolio review where you collect your demonstration of work throughout the year and have a certified teacher review that and present that to your county by June 8th at the end of the year. Thank you. Easton's drawing me pictures here. So you could do the portfolio review, but many of our families expressed an interest in taking a standardized test, which is another way to satisfy that assessment piece. And there's been this concern that there wasn't a way to purchase a test or find a testing service that was already approved and set up in the portal so that they could use their Hope dollars. However, we got to work last week. We actually had the idea one day, and this was up and running 48 hours later. Big shout out to Christian at the treasurer's office who was able to get in and approve this for us so that we could serve families right away. And so we have two options that are Hope approved services for a standardized test. For kindergarteners through third grade, you can purchase a consumable Iowa Form E test, which you can administer yourself. There isn't a requirement for a degree, although it is preferred and suggested. Folks like me who do not have any higher education can administer the test. And so that is one of the options for the consumable. Again, that's kindergarten, first and second grade using Iowa Form E. You complete our sign-up form. I just dropped the link to the website in the comments. You go in there, submit that form, and then I will work with you to get your test ordered and sent to you. So the Iowa test will come to you. You will either administrate that test yourself, or you may choose to have someone else be the test administrator. Again, we need that information to be sure that everything is as it should be in order to get the test ordered and get it out to you. And then once you get your results back, you're going to submit that. Plenty of you have had questions about this whole kindergarten requirement because, as we talked about last year, the assessment per state code requires the student to be instructed and assessed in the 5 required subjects: math, reading, language, science, and social studies. And there isn't currently a standardized test that's been normed within the last decade that assesses in kindergarten for science and social studies, which makes sense because even students enrolled in a private school or public school are not being assessed. Typically, they're not being assessed until third grade in West Virginia, but they're also with the standardized test, but they're also not being tested on science and social studies or assessed on that in kindergarten. There is legislation that has been introduced, multiple bills actually, that could help clarify this kind of conflict within the code this year. We're hoping that one of those will pass, and by the time it comes time to submit your assessment, if the law has changed, then you'll be able to submit this kindergarten assessment and satisfy the requirement using this standardized test. If it hasn't changed, then my recommendation last year was either to reach out to the county to see if they will accept this kindergarten assessment without science and social studies, or to take that assessment and present it to your portfolio reviewer in addition to science and social study artifacts that would demonstrate what you've done with those, and have a portfolio review that you can submit. This way you actually get a standardized test, which to many people is a way that they would like to measure progress. And so you kind of have both options combined there. So that's the kindergarten first and second. For third grade and above, we can purchase the Stanford 10 online. That's held on Wednesdays and Thursdays, an online test. Again, you pick your testing week. And you can order this within the portal, pay for it, reserve your funds there. I go in and process all of this and communicate with you from beginning to end to make sure we have everything together. And then these will be issued through Seton Testing. The Stanford Online, again, it's a Wednesday and Thursday model. And so you would pick the week that you want that to be administered to your student, but you are not the administrator for the Stanford 10. What we are offering is the abbreviated version, not the complete battery, which does not include the Lexile reading assessment. But we wanted an option and kind of a simple option without unnecessary variables. And the abbreviated Stanford 10 does satisfy the requirement. It also satisfies the requirement if you have any Hope Scholars who are 7th grade and above, and they want to participate in the WVSSAC moving forward. They are going to need a standardized test score in order to participate in the WVSSAC program of their choice, or in order to at least try out to participate. And so the Stanford 10 will satisfy that. So Hope approved, reasonable cost. It is $57 for the Stanford 10. It is $69 for the Iowa, simply because of expedited shipping, because there had been delays last year. So we're doing expedited shipping to make sure that we get that out to you, you get it back to them, and then you get your test scores by June 8th. So you can act now. The link is in the comments. You can complete that. You're going to hear from me within 48 hours to coordinate and get your test ordered. And that's all I've got. I appreciate all of the parents who are reaching out and have already purchased that. I think we're over 10 so far that have reached out and purchased that. I appreciate you guys supporting the work here that we're doing at West Virginia Pew, and we're very glad to be able to provide this service for our families. If you've got questions, reach out to me. You guys have a great Wednesday afternoon.